Uh, Welcome to Abhinav Solutions. So today our topic is trigger. So so if you want to become a good Salesforce developer, you need to understand the clear. You need to understand the triggers concepts very clearly. So we very clearly. So before going to learn a trigger, so what is the need of the trigger? So why we introduce triggers in Salesforce? So these are the some of the main points we as a Salesforce developer we have to know. So for example, I will explain. Just give me 1 minute. I will just open my notepad. So uh, if you want to create one record in the age and then email. So if you want to if you want to save the any record in the account object, so this is account object account object. So you will give the name as trigger and the age is 21 and the email structure is the standard syntax of the email is trigger@gmail.com. So this is the string, this is integer, so this is email field. So instead of this giving this email, if you give instead of if you are supposed to give trigger dot at the rate dot com, this is the exact email syntax. This is not a valid email syntax. So so instead of giving this email, for suppose you will give this email while creating the record. So I want to fire one error. So your email structure is not correct. So please check your email and then re-enter your email. I will display this message. So and again you will correct your email and then you will enter the correct email syntax. This time, if you give this mail instead of previous mail, you will successfully save the record. Why? Because so we will basically we will write a one validations for the saving the record. So for the email syntax. So like that the actions, the validations, so for automation process in Salesforce there are so many options there. We can achieve Salesforce automation through the validation rules and formula fields, and we have a declarative tools also called declarative tools means workflow process builder and flow builder, and also we have a uh, auto response tools, and also we have a so many automations are there. So the actions which cannot be done through the this validation and formula field and these declarative rules like workflow process builder and the flow builder, we have a concept called trigger. So some of the actions we cannot achieve through these validations and formula fields and the declarative fields, that actions can be achieved through the trigger. So in that way scenario comes into picture. So what is trigger? So trigger is a basically one Apex logic. It is executed the before you perform any changes or before you commit any changes to the Salesforce database. For example, let us think. Uh, Let us think. So this is a Salesforce database. So if you in Salesforce database, we can do so many actions. We can create a record, or we can update a record, or we can delete a record, or we can undelete a record from the recycle bin. So these are the actions. These are the some of the actions we can perform in the Salesforce database. Not a Salesforce database, we can do these four actions, DML actions on any other databases also. So triggers is a basically one logic which can be executed automatically, which can be executed automatically. This is very important. So which can be executed automatically, that can be called as trigger. So basically, trigger is a one Apex logic, simple Apex logic, which can be executed automatically when we commit some changes into the Salesforce database. This is the main definition of the triggers. So I will give some more knowledge about the trigger. So I will not going to deep dive. So I will give some basic knowledge. So what is automation? Just wait. Let me open my developer console. So let me open my developer console. Just wait. It's not working. I think it's stuck. Yeah. Publisher layouts and then open on developer console. So this is the basically Salesforce developer console. So don't fear about this developer console. I will give only introduction today. So basically, I will give a small introduction about the triggers. So just to open in the debug, here we have seen different types of options in the above this page. So just open the open execute anonymous window, and then just increase the size of this anonymous window. For example, yeah, just wait. So now I am creating one Apex class, only Apex class. So Apex class name is Apex class. So in the Apex class, I used to mention one more method, that is public public static void display. This is the one of the method. So this is Apex class. This is one of the method. I used to some display some message system dot debug. Hello, how are you? This is Apex class. So I'm going to save this Apex class. So when did the Apex class is called? When this Apex class is executed. So if you want to execute this display method, which is in the Apex class, if I want, then it is only executed when I'm calling this display method. How we call? Just open the execute window and then close this. For executing this method, I am going to call this method through the Apex class. So copy dot. So this is basically a static method. So without creating any object, we can call directly this method. So display, I'm going to call this method. From now, this method does not allow any parameters. That's why we don't give any parameters to this method. So we call directly. So execute, just check debug logs, debug only. So hello, how are you? This is Apex class. So when did this Apex class is executed? When we call this Apex method. This when we call this Apex method, then only it can be executed. But in the other side of this trigger, the trigger cannot be called by the manually. It can be called automatically whenever the some changes is performed on the Salesforce database. So basically, Apex class can be called manually. We can call this manually through the Apex class. So on the other side of this Salesforce figures are called automatically whenever some changes are occurred in the Salesforce database. So I'm going to explain this. So for example, I'm going to create one trigger. For example, I'm going to create a Apex introduction to trigger, introduction account trigger. So object is account object, submit. So basically, these are the events. In between these parentheses, we have to give some trigger events. So how many trigger events are there in Salesforce? There are seven trigger events are there. Those are so the before insert, before update, before delete, and after insert, and after after update, and after delete, and after undelete. These are the seven trigger events which can be supported by the Salesforce. So these seven events we can use in the in between parentheses. For example, I'm going to after insert, sorry, after insert, after update. So I'm going to perform some actions. So uh, if figure dot is before and figure dot is insert. So system dot debug, this is executed automatically for insertion operation, for before insertion operation. Insertion operation. For example, if trigger dot is after, this is the basically case insensitive language. So trigger trigger is after, and then trigger dot is update. So I will print one on message if this is happened. So system dot debug, so before is after update. So is the problems. So the problems valid does not is okay. So here is the spelling mistake. Okay, there is no problem. So this is the one of the trigger. So I'm not going to call this trigger anyway. So this is I already told trigger is a basically one automation tool which can be called automatically. It's not like Apex class. So basically Apex class is called executed when we call manually. So but on the other side of this trigger is only executed when the some changes or insertion operation or deletion operation or update operation is happen in the Salesforce database. So I'm going to perform some changes in the Salesforce database. I'm going to so I'm going to explain this program. So this is my program. So this is basically trigger dot is before. So before insertion operation. So before going to the this trigger is this logic. If you write any logic logic. So trigger dot is before trigger dot is insert. So this trigger is automatically get called when the event is occurred. So for example, so this is a Salesforce database. So I'm using I'm using the so this is a Salesforce database. So in the Salesforce database, I will perform the DML operations like insertion, deletion, update, and undelete operation. So in the program, I will use the context variables. So these are the context variables. So these are the context variables. Just leave it right now. Just leave it these context variables. I will give more clear about these context variables in the upcoming sessions. Just leave it now. So you just concentrated on what is the triggers and how it can be used in the Salesforce to achieve the automation in the Salesforce. So so this logic is executed whenever the insertion operation is done in the Salesforce database. So, so this message is displayed if you insert some record in the Salesforce database. For example, right now I'm going to insert one record in the Salesforce database. So just create one record. Account name is trigger, trigger insertion, parent account. So I'm not going to call this trigger. So it will be automatically called while inserting. So I'm going to insert one record into Salesforce database. Now this message is displayed on the debug log. Just wait. Now I'm just inserted one record in the Salesforce database. Now if you check the logs, so we'll find the different types of logs in the sales in the logs session. So the recent log is 054. Basically 5 G 1 2 4 logs are generated. Among these 4 logs, I will check first log, debug only, no display. Second log, debug only. This is executed automatically before insertion. What the code is, this is executed automatically before insertion operation. Is it so this the system.debug message is displayed. Why? Because so we generally insert the one record in the Salesforce. So that's why this message only displayed in the debug log. So this time I'm going to update operation. I'm going to update operation. So right now this logic is not executed. Why? Because we are just insert on record into Salesforce database. That's why the whatever the logic in between these if condition that that message only displayed in the debug log. So this is basically displayed due to the insertion operation. Now I'm going to update operation. For update operation, this message I want to display in the debug logs. So I'm going to update one record. I'm going to update one record. So I'm going to go to detail. So I'm updating this record insertion to trigger update. Then I think one more log is generated in the Salesforce. Just check the recent log is 07, 4 more logs. So this time any so debug only, no use, open dot log. Just check it. Because not update operation is anonymous window. Just close all the anonymous windows. Standard figure is after. Basically, this message displayed. is it is not displayed after is after. Right now there is no address update. I'm again going to update the record and then say think this message would be displayed on this folder. Just check it. The second one. It is not displayed. What is the problem? Let me check. Trigger is before trigger is update. Trigger dot is update after update before it. Just again update this one with the department field. Sales. Save this record with the sales updation and then check it once. Two more logs will be generated. Yeah. So this is I think the problem is something, but I will sort out this problem. So right now you will see this message. This is executed automatically after the update operation. We are generally do the update operation in the department. So while creating the record, we only give the name of the record and the account name. So, but this time I will add one more field is called department. I will this is department sales, and basically I update this record. So that's why this logic is executed. So this is executed automatically after the update operation. So where it is, yeah. So this is executed automatically for update operation. This is not printed. This message is not printed. Why? Because this is not a insertion operation. I only do the update operation on Salesforce. That's why this message is only printed instead of this message. So if I insert one record, this message is displayed. If I update the record, this message is displayed. So same thing. So whatever the logic we put inside this insertion, that logic is executed before the insertion operation. The same way, the logic is if you develop any logic that will be executed before update. So this is the more about triggers. So in the upcoming session, I will give some more in detail about the triggers. Thank you for watching. Bye.